is the 3pm Takeover, Radio Northern Beach's only drive-home show.
Keep it right here for a whole hour of fresh hits and entertainment for your Wednesday afternoon.
Here we go.
This is No Money by Galantis.
Welcome to the 3pm Takeover for another excellent week with Hope and Victoria. That's Hope and me. It is like the second week of June, which is crazy that we're already almost halfway through the year. So congrats on making it this far, guys. You've made a personal best in your life. You're as old as you've ever been. That's a personal best.
Oh yeah, I suppose it is. It's got to that point of the year that last week someone told me how many days there were until Christmas.
I don't like when they start that countdown.
I know, because then you know that it's got really through the year.
Because that means like next week they're going to start playing like Christmas carols in shops. And I'm not ready for that yet.
It's too soon.
But considering it is just the start of June, we're going to share some fun little facts about June for you that, you may or may not have known.
June is a really popular month in my calendar. A lot of my friends and family are born in June.
My mum's born in June.
Is she?
Yeah, she's born on the 30th. And we joke that her parents got her in right before the end of financial year. It was a tax break.
My mum is born in June too.
Really?
Yeah.
How did I never know this?
Who knows?
Oh, wow. That's so exciting. We have
so weird.
June mummies.
Yeah, everyone I know. I've got my mum and my uncle and my cousin are all born on the same day.
Oh, wow. I think my mum is the only immediate person in my life that has a birthday. This could backfire if a friend texts me and they're
all
like,
of a sudden someone will call up.
Yeah, but as far as I'm aware.
So tell me about June.
Well, June has the longest and shortest day hours of the year, depending on which hemisphere you're in. So obviously over in America and other northern hemisphere areas, it is summer, or it's the start of summer or about to be summer.
Yeah.
So they're going to have the longest days, and it's winter for us down in the southern hemisphere, so we're going to have the shortest day.
Oh, and I feel it. And especially my apartment is south facing. It's dark at like 3:30. It's so depressing.
Yeah, I keep like going home from work and I'm like, what lovely sunset I'm looking at. I still have like an hour of work left.
Yeah.
That keeps happening. The name for the month June is taken from Juno, which is the goddess of queens and marriages.
She's just the goddess of everything, isn't she?
Yeah, that's quite cool. I knew that it was named after the goddess Juno, but I didn't know what she was goddess of.
Yeah. Marriages and
Queens.
Okay, that's a cool combination.
Yeah. So it's not named after that Michael Cera, Ellen Page movie as we were discussing before.
The one where she gets pregnant.
Yeah, which is called Juno.
Is her character called Juno?
Yeah, it's her name.
Or the baby?
No, her.
Oh.
I don't think they ever say what the baby's name is.
I've never seen it.
Really?
No.
I own it. I think I've only seen it a handful of times.
Fair
it was
enough.
during my Michael Cera stage. I think everyone has to go through it at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? June is considered an auspicious month to marry. And if you're going to, it should be after June 15th.
I had heard of that. There are a
Is that
couple of
like-
months you shouldn't get married in, like according to legend or whatever.
That's so strange.
I don't know. I think it's just a thing.
It's never it's not a thing I've ever heard of.
If you haven't heard of it, it must not be true.
No other month ever begins on the same day of the week as June.
Isn't that so trippy? So every single month of the year will start on a different day, except June. Did you know that?
No, but
I'm not mathematical,
Maybe I
so
don't
if it
fully
makes sense,
understand
I
it.
think it's really, really cool.
Maybe
So
I don't
say
fully
that-
understand it yet.
Okay, so if people confuse, so basically say the 1st of June is a Monday, no other month that year will start on a Monday.
Oh, okay. Now I get it. That's crazy.
Yeah. Isn't that really cool?
I didn't know what I was even thinking of, but
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
Isn't that just really trippy?
But like every single year?
Yeah, every year.
What?
I know. It's like magic, right?
That's crazy.
So June started on a Wednesday this year. So no other month of the year will be born on a Wednesday.
We had our girl band special.
We did. So if you missed our Girl Band special, make sure that you head over to our SoundCloud and check it out, or head onto our Facebook page and find the playlist and all the details from the show right there.
Does that mean that our girl band special is the only special this year that's going to be on the 1st of the month?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
What an extra special we had that we
I
didn't even
know.
realize until this week.
It's so weird.
How exciting. In honor of that, you guys should go back on SoundCloud and listen to that episode again.
Yes.
And finally, June is International Men's Month,
Oh, that's nice.
which is funny because we had a girl band special in June.
Do we have an International Women's Month?
Probably.
I have an odd feeling it's March. And we had our boy band special in March.
Oh, we did.
We just did it in reverse order. You know what? I really like June as a month because June is sort of like the year is kind of warmed up, but it's not sort of getting too intense yet. It's not that
And
cold
it's not at
because
the
it's
tail
not
end yet.
July. It's a good time of year. It's usually quite a flowy time of year. I like it. I'm pro June.
Yeah,
Just
good
the
to
thing.
know.
Just
Everyone,
the thing.
Hope is pro June. Write on our Facebook page whether you are pro June or anti June.
Or against June. No one can be against June after they heard the coolest fact ever about June.
The day of the week thing.
Yeah.
That's
You can't hate June now, right?
That's not going to leave me. We're going to go into a song now, and I'm not even going to listen to the song because I'm still thinking
Ponder
about
over
this
that.
incredible fact. This is Work by Rihanna featuring Drake.
Welcome back to the 3pm Takeover. You're listening to Radio Northern Beaches 88.7 and 90.3 with Hope and Victoria. So that was Rihanna and Drake. I don't know much about this Drake. I keep hearing his name pop up. Does he just do collaborations with people?
No, he has his own songs.
I don't know them.
He sung that Hotline Bling song.
Oh my God, I love that song. Okay, I love him now. I love that song.
He's just been collaborating a lot lately, I think.
I don't know, artists who collaborate, I'm like, are you just too lazy to do your own stuff? I don't know how I feel about it.
I never really think about it. It depends who they're with, because sometimes I'm like, should you guys really be teaming up?
But then people team up and it's absolutely incredible. Like talking of Rihanna.
But sometimes they're the weirdest, like when Rihanna teamed up with...
Coldplay, and everyone was like, it's not going to work, and it was amazing.
No, when she teamed up with Paul McCartney and... oh my gosh. Kanye.
Kanye. Oh, yeah.
That song, whenever I hear it, all I can think about is the fact that those three people probably should not be in a room together because it doesn't make sense for them to ever be in a situation to be in a room together.
Oh, it's amazing. It's like one of the coolest Christmas albums ever is Rod Stewart and Lady Gaga.
Yeah, there's another weird mashup.
They do it. That's a weird mashup, and they do amazing music together.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving away from that,
Sorry, our segment is not going to be about strange collaborations.
No,
and
it's
mashups.
not.
It's actually it has nothing to do with it.
Totally different. So so I'm looking outside. The weather is not that bad, but we have been hit by some crazy storms. So I'm lucky. I don't live as close to the beach now as I used to. I recently moved, but there were houses, I think, in like the Narrabeen, Collaroy area that have actually ended up sliding off their cliffs, which is awful, right?
And a lot of the streets got flooded. Like so many properties in Narrabeen are now waterfront properties.
Yeah, like actually.
My friend lives in Narrabeen and they saw a guy paddleboarding down the street.
That's so amazing. But like there were cars floating and there's so much wreckage now and stuff. It's terrible. And there's lots of schools closed. So
Did you see that video of that guy fishing off his balcony?
yeah.
And he like caught something?
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, the Manly Daily has put a really amazing video on Facebook as well. That's of a guy who lives in Narrabeen and he's fishing from his deck, and usually he should be, I think he said like 35 metres away from the water.
Yeah.
It's a really, really cool video. Manly Daily have had some great coverage, so look it up. And also make sure you like our local community SES and police pages, fire station pages. They have all the latest news. And watch out for debris. I nearly drove over a tree today.
Oh, just casually driving over trees.
It was lying across the road.
Was it a tree or like a really big branch?
It was a tree.
Oh, okay.
Like, it was a small tree. So the University of Sydney have come out with a bit of information about this storm, as they often do. And I'm never sure that I like information about storms when it comes out and they give you all the statistics about how long you have until the whole of like Sydney's underwater and things like that.
Oh,
but
those
anyway,
ones.
This was one of those type of studies. But apparently
A nice
Collaroy,
light cheery read.
apparently Collaroy has been the most at-risk part of the New South Wales coast
They're
for
first to
more than
go.
150 years.
Well, makes sense.
Yeah, so
Aren't they?
are the
Doesn't
worst.
Collaroy sit like just a little bit below the sea level as well?
Yes.
That's why they
Collaroy's
flood
down.
us so much. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of really, really crazy weather. So make sure that if you are in an affected area that you are being careful, you are not driving dangerously, tripping over trees, things like that.
Tripping over trees with your car.
Like I did.
Yeah. It was the weather was just so crazy. Like I went to the shops. I walked there and I got drenched. But I was meeting my mum at the shops and she's like, "Oh, you didn't bring an umbrella?" And I was like, "Have you seen how windy it is?" And as we left, someone's umbrella like inverted.
Yeah.
I was like, "That's why I didn't bring an umbrella."
There are some times where it's just not worth it. I was out at the Big Top at Luna Park for a show and everybody was queuing and the rain just began to pour down.
Oh, no.
And it was so windy that it went in every single direction. And I was lucky I was undercover, but most people weren't, and people were dressed up. People looked amazing. And every single umbrella was inside out. You couldn't even hear except for a few screams because the wind was that loud and people were just drenched. I felt so bad for them. It was really horrible.
Was it warm inside when you got in there?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
So it was warm inside.
A slight comfort for the damp people outside.
True. All right, we're going to be right back after this, and when we come back, we are going to be talking about questions that make you think. So make sure that you stick around here on The Takeover. Bruh. Very good.
Welcome back to the 3 p.m. Takeover. That felt the most fitting way to come in after that song, because that was probably the best part of that song.
That is a great song.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed a bit of Jason Derulo. And now I'm a bit excited because we're going to talk about questions that make you think. And Hope hasn't let me see the list that she's prepared, and so I'm curious.
It's a secret thing.
I'm curious.
Okay, so it's so interesting. So I was watching TV, as you do, the other week, and they were playing this game called Questions That Make You Think game. And like they were sort of half serious and half just like really funny. And I was like, oh, we should play this, because it's one of those things where it's questions that just put you on the spot.
Cool. Okay.
So I thought we would give it a go. So you can all play along at home. Think about what you would answer if you were here.
And let us know if you have any like really good answers.
Yeah.
Right on our Facebook page.
We are
Tweet
not
us.
always the most interesting. We mostly are, but
Yeah, I'm
not
gonna say I'm like
always.
99,
Pretty much
9% of the time, but there's still room for you guys to squeeze in and be slightly more interesting every now and then.
just slightly. Okay, question 1. What is the strangest thing that you have ever eaten?
Oh, like by choice?
I guess. How sadistic do you want to make this?
Oh
This is a
no,
bit scary.
like I used to go to a lot of like camps, and they'd have game nights, and sometimes it'd be like you're in a team and you have to eat this thing to get to the next stage.
Ew.
Canned asparagus was pretty bad.
Canned asparagus.
It was
Yuck.
like instantly liquefied. No vegetable should do that.
Ew.
That's probably not strange, but that's all I can really think of.
That's pretty gross. I can beat that.
I've eaten bugs or something.
I've eaten witchetty grub.
That's not that weird.
Ew, it's horrible.
My mum's had that.
It's so gross. It's terrible. I had to do it on a school camp in primary school. Okay. Number 2. This one changes the mood a bit. Do you think that honesty is the best policy?
Ooh. No.
You know what? I would say no as well,
I think,
which feels horrible to say.
I mean, it depends on the context, but I think generally you should think about someone's feelings first. I think there's nothing
The
wrong
white
with the
lie
white
is
lie.
my
Yeah.
friend.
I was going to say there's nothing wrong with a white lie.
White lies are your friend sometimes.
Definitely.
I live by that one as well. I remember I was explaining to my little, I suppose it's like a
Pony?
nephew, cousin, not pony. He was asking what a white lie was, and I told him it's a special kind of lie for adults.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good way of describing it.
It was the first thing I could think of. And he was like, oh, so I'm not allowed to tell one yet? And I was like, no, it's for adults only. I don't know. That was my little explanation. Okay, question number 3. Who would you most like to meet from history?
Queen Victoria,
Oh,
straight up.
because she shares the same name?
No, I just find her to be one of the most interesting people. She was so
She
strong
is interesting.
and steadfast and like stubborn in a good way. One of my top 10 favorite movies is The Young Victoria, which
Yeah,
everyone's always
it's a
like,
good
oh,
movie.
ha, ha, because it's got your name in it. I'm like, no, it's an incredible story. I love Emily Blunt.
No, that's true. She did have an amazing life.
How about you? You probably have a more interesting answer because you actually study history. For me, it's like, oh, I watched this movie and she seemed really interesting in it. And
I don't know.
everything I've learned about her, she seems incredible for me. So
There are so many people. I think I would really like to go back in time and meet King Arthur.
oh yeah,
I think that'd be
this
exciting.
this may come across as a really stupid question, but was he real?
Yes.
Okay, because I feel like I just assumed he wasn't because all the stories you hear about him are like Le Morte d'Arthur, which are mostly fantasy. So I didn't know are the rest of them real, like Galahad and Lancelot.
Yeah.
And okay,
Because when we were doing our suburb focus a few weeks ago, Avalon was named after Avalon, where King Arthur was from.
but I didn't know if that's like where he was from, like in the book or something.
No, it's real.
Okay, cool.
Fun fact. Okay.
What if you got back there and found out he wasn't real and I was right all along?
No, I know he is.
Would
That's
you
why I'm
cry?
going back to see him.
Would you cry?
I would. Okay, question 4. If you could go back in time and witness one event, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a hard question. Witness one event. I've just realised I partially want to change my mind on the question beforehand, but anyway.
Moments gone.
I was just say, I think it'd be cool to meet like grandparents and great-great-grandparents when they were
Oh,
my age.
ancestors. That's so interesting.
Yeah, and like meet them when they were my age.
Oh,
I don't know.
weird.
An event I'd like to see. I don't know. I can't think of one straight up. Can you?
Like a specific moment in time.
I guess. Is that the question?
Does that really weird to say that? I think it would be really interesting to be around for something like a really big moment in time, like after conflict. So say like the armistice at the end of World War I or something.
Oh yeah.
Like to hear it like on the radio that the war had ended
Like
or something.
the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be quite cool.
Or maybe even something, like the fall of the Berlin Wall or something really dramatic.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool. Some sort of big like historic event that you haven't experienced.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd want to be around for.
I tell you what though, I would not want to be around in Narrabeen in the early days. And you're going to hear more about that in our suburb focus later.
Oh, but I was just about to pick Narrabeen in the early days.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Number 5. Would you rather be overdressed or underdressed for a party? Overdressed?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
What?
Because it's if you're overdressed, it just looks like you cared a lot and you're like over prepared. Whilst if you're like underdressed, it looks like you didn't care very much and you look sloppy.
See, that's really true
Okay,
because
think of it
I
as a
would
party.
know what I was going to pick.
Okay, if it's a wedding, would you want to be overdressed or underdressed?
Overdressed.
Yeah. A 21st party, overdressed, underdressed.
Yeah, overdressed, I suppose.
That's what if it was
I don't
it's like
know.
if someone was like, "Oh, bro, I'm having a house party," then no, yeah, I'd still like to be overdressed, and you could always just be like, "Oh, I just came from another I just came from like a wedding reception or something."
Legit,
You
like
you could always do a white lie.
I've done that one. Seriously, one of my like biggest fears in life is not being dressed correctly for a situation.
Yeah.
It freaks me out. I'm always like, what if everyone's in jeans? What if everyone's in a skirt?
Yes.
What if they're formal? What if they're casual? Like
It's like the first day of work. You're like, what if I rock up in like
the wrong
a
wrong
pencil
thing.
skirt and a normal top and everyone's in jeans and a t-shirt? I look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Such a fear. I'm so scared of that. Okay. Would you return an item to a store after having already used it?
Does it still have the tags on?
Yeah.
How did I use it?
I don't know. Like if it was a jacket, would you wear it for a night and then return it?
No, probably not, because knowing my luck, I'd probably like spill something on it if I was intending to return it. No, I probably wouldn't.
No, I don't think I would either, but I've heard about people that do that. They'll like I had a friend who she liked this really expensive dress and she got it on her credit card and wore it and then returned it the next day.
See, that'd be too risky because the whole time I'm wearing it, I'd be like, I'm going to spill something, I'm going to rip it. I would just be so hyper aware of myself.
It's just so dishonest. It semi-kills me. Okay.
That's a bad adult white lie.
True. Would you tell someone if they smell bad?
How well do I know them?
Reasonably.
We
had this at work today. One of my colleagues told another one that he didn't smell very good and he is now not talking to her.
No, I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't a colleague. It would have to be like a family member or like a really close friend for me to have to say that. Or like a partner, like if I was with someone.
I feel like I could never tell someone.
I used to say to my ex all the time, I'd be like, you need to have a shower.
Oh, I feel like I could never say that to somebody.
No, but like a partner?
I don't know.
Really? When they're like sweaty or something, I would be like, go have a shower. I'm not hugging you. Like, go away.
I don't know. I've never thought about it.
No,
I'm non-confrontational.
Australian summers like force you to make that decision. But if it was someone that I didn't know as well as like a best friend, a partner, or a family member, no, I would just like hold my breath.
Yeah, you would hold your breath. Okay, that's true. All right.
But don't hold your breath now, guys, because we're gonna have 2 back-to-back amazing songs, and it's well, actually, if you can hold your breath, this song, I'll be very impressed.
Yeah.
It's probably possible, but I have really terrible lung capacity, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to sing along to these songs. This is Pitbull, and after that we've got Red Foo. We'll be back after this on The Takeover.
Welcome back. You're listening to the 3 p.m. Takeover with Hope and Victoria, and we were talking about questions that make you think. So if they made you think, right on our Facebook page, we are really interested to know what you think.
Yeah, I think some of your answers will probably be better than ours.
Yeah.
One of them I couldn't even answer because I couldn't think of an answer. So anything you come up with is better than that one that I did.
I think the idea, though, is that they're supposed to catch you off guard, though.
They did.
Apparently when you catch someone off guard with a question, they're more likely to tell you the truth.
Oh, really? That kind of makes sense.
Because they don't have time to like process it and change it in any way. Interesting.
Unless there's someone like me who overthinks everything and kind of has answers prepared.
That's true.
And also, like, you know, when you watch interview
An
shows.
answer for every situation.
Well, I always watch interviews and I'm always like, well, how would I answer that question? So the back of my mind, I have a whole bunch of like pre-drafted responses.
Ready for when you're interviewed. That's so funny. Last week when I was reading the newspaper, I was reading a really interesting piece that was talking about people who get frustrated with others who don't pronounce things right and whether or not they actually just were pronouncing things incorrectly or they just had a different accent or something like that. And a little while ago on the show, Victoria and I did the accent tag because we're both Australian, but my parents are from overseas. And we thought it would be interesting to see the differences in our voice. So this afternoon, I thought we would go over a couple of the words that are apparently the hardest to pronounce. So I found these online. The Huffington Post did some research into it with the University of London, I'm pretty sure.
Thanks, Huff.
And found out a bunch of apparently the most commonly mispronounced words.
Okay.
So I'm going to put them in between us and we can take turns reading them and seeing if we think they're hard to pronounce. So the first one looks pretty simple to me.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so the first one on the list is almond.
Almond.
As in the nut.
I've heard people call it almond.
But then there are people that say almond.
Is it the British thing to say almond?
No, they say almond.
No, I follow a British YouTuber and he says almond.
That's weird.
And it annoys me.
No, I think it's almond. My mum says almond.
Yeah. But I get why he says almond because there's an L there.
I know, but in my mind I'm like...
But it's the English language. You have so many silent letters. You can't trust any letter.
But apparently it is almond. It shouldn't be pronounced an L.
The next word is, I pronounce it as berry.
Yeah, I say berry as well, but apparently it's commonly mispronounced as bury. So berry is in like you're burying a body. Burying a body in the garden.
Not that either of us had an experience with that.
Nothing
the garden,
Sam.
You got to take it far away from you. Don't leave a paper trail.
Yeah, so burying something in the garden, I would say bury.
Now, this next word, I actually say it both ways. If I don't think about it, I just say it however I say it. I don't even know.
Now, apparently this one has a British and an American pronunciation. So if you do it either way, you're fine.
I don't know which one's which, though.
What do you say normally?
I don't know. Schedule and schedule. I think I say schedule.
I say schedule as well, which is the British.
Okay, cool. I can still drink tea. Excellent.
Yeah. So there's schedule and there's schedule, but there's nothing else.
I have a friend who calls it a skadooly. So there's a third pronunciation there.
People are so weird. Okay, the next one is niche. And I think that as long as you have like a basic understanding of French words and French spelling, you're going to be fine.
Niche.
Niche it is.
Next one is epitome.
Yeah. Epitome, I know someone that says...
Epitome?
No, I know someone that says epitome.
Oh.
Not epitome.
Is this like you in envelope instead of envelope?
Yes. But that's later in the story.
The next one is genre.
Genre. Yeah, I say genre. Again, I think that's that French thing.
Yeah.
You either know it or you don't. Next one, totally a debatable one in Australia at the moment because it's a big deal here, is quinoa.
Oh, quinoa. I say quinoa.
Quinoa. Oh, I say quinoa.
And I met someone who calls it quinoa, and I don't know if they were joking or not.
Quinoa is, that's the thing, people commonly say quinoa. It's not. I think it's quinoa or quinoa.
It's like people who like say GIF instead of GIF.
Who says that?
People at work say, because we make, part of my job is to like create little GIFs. And I call them GIFs because, and I'm going to back it up. It's not on our list, but I have a
story about this.
In my defense, GIF, it stands for graphics interface something. But it's graphics, not jaffics.
That is true.
Therefore, in my mind, it should be GIF, not GIF. That's how I think about it. Anyway.
I would say GIF.
The next word is, Porsche.
Porsche.
It is Porsche.
So it's Porsche. Everyone obviously says Porsche. That's the common thing, but it is actually Porsche.
If you have trouble remembering it, just think of Ellen DeGeneres' wife, Porsche.
Porsche.
Although I think she spells it differently, but anyway.
When I think of Porsche spelt like that, I always think of that as in Shakespeare because that's where it came from.
What? When?
Porsche. She's a character in The Merchant of Venice. Porsche was a name spelt like that before it was a car.
It wasn't a car first in Shakespeare's time.
So the next one is chauvinism or chauvinistic. And I know some people that say chauvinistic.
Really?
Yeah, or chauvinistic.
And do they have chauffeurs as well for their cars?
Yeah, I have a friend that says chauvinistic.
Oh.
Chauvinism?
The next one I pronounce as gauge.
Yeah, I say gauge as well. And apparently I used to say gorge, and apparently that's incorrect. So gorge is Gorge, as though you're gorging on lots of food. And you can't pronounce gauge as gorge. Okay, so the next word, I had to laugh. I played this game with my partner before I came on the show, and he tripped up on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How else do you pronounce cocoa? Cocoa?
Cocoa.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's hilarious.
I think it was a mistake. He got tripped by the spelling. So there's a shocking moment in everyone's life when they're a child when you find out cocoa has an A on the end.
It's true.
And everyone has that moment of realization. But after that, you shouldn't forget it.
Well, he won't now that you've just like
Shamed
him on air. Did you say shamed him?
I said shammed him. I'm sorry. The next one bugs me.
Why?
Because people say it wrong all the time.
Mischievous.
Yeah, mischievous. People always say mischievous.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mischievous.
Like mischief. They say mischievous.
Mischievous. And where's Mr. Chievous? Now, the next one, I didn't realize that I was pronouncing it wrong until a friend got very angry at me for mispronouncing it. I used to say pronunciation when it's pronunciation. I never realized there was no OU, it's just you.
There is no OU. It's just pronunciation.
Yes, pronunciation.
The next one, this is a word that we use at work all the time because it can be a technical computer term, and it's cache, and a lot of people say cache.
I was going to say, I would have said cache, but I'm trying to think of the last time I ever read or spoke that word, and I cannot think of it.
It's very unusual. So
Yeah.
at work, it's a like a little, you can, if you're working on a website, you can clear
yeah.
the caches of the website,
Yeah, so
which
you clear
basically means
cache.
that you're unblocking the website so people can see it.
And next, here come the cavalry.
Cavalry is a good one. A lot of people say cavalry.
Oh, yeah.
Cavalry.
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 Here come the cavalry. I'm going to call cavalry from now
Yeah,
on.
cavalry. Not cavalry.
The next one, it's hyperbole, but you could hyperbole.
I used to say hyperbole
Same.
when I was younger.
Until I learned that it was hyperbole. Oh, no, I can't say
Hyperbole.
it. Hyperbole. Ah.
Okay, so that what happened to me. I was doing maths in high school, and there was hyperboles and parabolas. And I started off saying hyperboles and parabolas. And then I had to get used to the fact that it was the other way around. It was hyperbole and parabola.
Yeah.
Not parabola
Parabola.
and hyperbole.
That sounds like
That's so difficult.
that disease, Ebola.
Oh, it does.
The next deadly disease coming, guys, is parabola.
Ebola point two. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the next word. This one to me seems a very easy word. I can't think of anyone I know who doesn't say it correctly, so I don't know how people do.
Well,
but
how do you pronounce Leoblay? I'm kidding, it's liable.
liable? I've only ever heard people say liable.
You don't say Leoblay?
Nope. I definitely say liable.
Leoblay.
And how that happens.
I think what I just said was a bit of a moot point.
Very good.
Our next word is moot.
Which some people say is mute, but mute is when there's no sound,
Yes.
like an M-U-T-E.
Not M-O-O-T.
Moot.
I just think of cows.
Yeah, moot.
That line in Friends where it's like a cow's opinion. It's a moot point.
Yeah.
That's all I ever think of when I think of a moot point. It's like a cow's opinion. It doesn't matter.
Okay, that's so funny. Okay, second last one is peremptory.
I don't think I've ever come across that word.
Peremptory.
Some of us didn't study English at university. What's peremptory?
It's an unusual word.
What does it mean?
Just like when you find out that something was wronged against you.
Oh,
It's an
okay.
unusual word. Like, you wouldn't really use it. Peremptory. But some people say peremptory.
Oh, okay. Peremptory. Yeah.
So what is often with words is people will put the stress in the wrong place. The stresses of the words. Okay. The last word on our list bugs me because it's the only word that I'm aware of that I do pronounce incorrectly, but I just can't bring myself to say it the right way.
Or what's the incorrect and correct way of saying it?
Okay, so I say picture, which I'm pretty sure every Australian does, but it should be picture with a C. But I say picture.
Picture.
Yeah, I just say picture.
Take a picture.
Like a pitcher of beer, I think.
Like a picture.
Yeah.
Oh, I see how. Yeah, you put like a ch.
I say I'm going to take. I just I'm going to. Yeah, I'll just say I'm going to take a picture.
I'll take a picture.
I don't really say the C sound, and I
See,
feel bad because it should be picture.
It's hard because now that I'm listening, I'm like hyper aware of what I'm saying.
Yeah, isn't
So
it so
I'll be like,
weird?
you don't say picture every time. You don't say picture, but I don't think I say that every time either.
So I reckon we were pretty good. We passed. We
passed
can
the English
apparently
language.
pronounce the hardest words
Yeah,
ever.
our pronunciation is really good.
Let us know which words you struggled with.
And let us know which words, when they're mispronounced, make you scream.
Which are the worst ones for you?
That's a funny pun because our next song is called Scream. See you after this. Welcome back. It just got quiet so quickly. I wanted to bask in the silence for a little bit longer. Welcome back to the 3 p.m. Takeover with Hope and Victoria. Unfortunately, we're near the end of our show. We're at the end, which means it's time for Suburb Focus. And where are we heading today? Hope gave you a hint earlier in our show about where we're heading to for our Suburb Focus this week.
I did. So very aptly, we're heading to the place that was probably like almost the most affected by the storms, which is Narrabeen. But we're actually covering 2 suburbs today. So we have Narrabeen and North Narrabeen. Do you know what's really trippy, which I found out looking this up? So now obviously we have one council, but back when we had the 3 separate ones, Narrabeen
This Council of Amalgamation has stuffed up Suburb Focus.
Narrabeen was part of Warringah Council, but North Narrabeen is in Pittwater Council.
What?
I know, right? So confusing.
That's so messy. Thank goodness we're a Council of Amalgamation.
I know, right? I just couldn't do without it. So Narrabeen is actually a super interesting area. So I'm going to go real fast because we have so much to get through. So the name came from the Aboriginal word narrabine, meaning swan. But it's also thought to have come from a plant in the area called the narrabin.
Oh.
So it could be either, some combination of the two. So actually, Narrabeen was settled by Captain Henry Reynolds, who was a first fleeter.
Ooh.
Who settled in the area with his family. And then they were all murdered by bushrangers.
Oh.
So that's why I said I wouldn't have wanted to go back in time to Narrabeen.
That sucks. Were they angry bushrangers from that suburb a couple of weeks
Cottage
ago?
Point.
That were full of murders?
Maybe they
and
came down
thefts?
from Cottage Point.
On the horses they stole. Remember they stole horses?
I think they might have come, from Cottage Point down to
I bet it
Narrabeen.
was that same band of misfits.
What's interesting, so Narrabeen has its own myth, which I think is really interesting. So there's a myth that there was once a young Aboriginal girl called Narrabine who lived near the lake and helped soldiers recapture convicts when they escaped.
That's kind of cool. So there's like 3 possible origins of the name Narrabeen.
Yeah, which is really interesting.
Wow.
Ocean Street was first built in 1925, but before that, Narrabeen was actually accessed by tram line.
Really?
Until 1913. There used to be a tram in Narrabeen, which I did not know.
No, neither did I.
Which is really exciting. And then the Wakehurst Parkway was built in 1946 to connect the Narrabeen area to Frenchs Forest and Seaforth.
Was that built in the 40s? I take that like at least once a week. That road.
1946.
Wow.
Amazing, right? And this is probably the coolest / weirdest thing in the world. So I don't remember this happening, but in January 2005, workmen were excavating by the bus shelter on Ocean Street and they found a skeleton, and the investigations revealed that it was the 4,000-year-old remains of a man.
What? I don't remember that at all.
4,000 years. So he's now known as the Narrabeen Man, which is crazy.
4,000 years.
Narrabeen is also known for having...
I forget how old Australia is sometimes.
I know. Narrabeen is also known for having the most steady climate of any suburb on the beaches. North Narrabeen, on the other hand, was first settled in 1815. And during the 19th century...
That's early.
Yeah, during the 19th century, residents had to ford their way through the lake to get there until the first bridge was built, which was in the 1880s.
That's so interesting.
So if you're from Narrabeen or North Narrabeen, we want to hear from you this week.
Yeah, let us know which of the origin stories you believe and or have heard of. Until then, have an excellent week. We're going to leave you with one last song. And we'll see you on Friday for the repeat. Otherwise, catch you again at 3 o'clock next Wednesday for the 3 p.m. takeover.
Bye.